before. Oops. All right. Thank you. Let's see. I'm just admitting here. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll just let people in as they come in. Let me do view. So just want to introduce to you Denise Marks. She is one of our top luxury agents out of the Calabasas office, and she's here to share with you a little bit about her story and her words of wisdom, and just excited to just hear what she has to say. So I know you wanted to share. I have everything set up for you, Denise, to share your screen. And do you want to go ahead and do that? Oops. There we go.
Okay. All right.
All right. So take it away, Denise.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Denise Marks, and I'm here at Keller Williams, and I'm so proud and excited to be at Keller Williams. Every day I wake up and I'm on a high. I love, love, love being with the KW family, for sure. Okay. A little bit about me. I'm a true blue, authentic Valley girl. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I went to Taft High School, and then I went to Cal State Northridge. Just a little fun fact, I got my SAG card playing Ally McBeal's personal trainer years ago, and I was in the beauty industry for many years. I was a hairdresser. Here is my family. I have a 13-year-old daughter, Savannah, a 16-year-old son, Ryan, and my husband, who a lot of you know, Doug Huberman, is pictured with us. And here are our fur babies. So we have a 5-month-old Labradoodle, Lexi, and a 6-year-old Labradoodle, Bella. And they're obviously part of our family. We love them. And what some of you don't know is travel is my passion. Obviously, during the pandemic, I didn't travel, but I miss it, and I can't wait to go back to traveling. That makes me tick. That makes me work really hard so I could go on my next trip or think about going on my next trip. But real estate is 24/7, 365 days a year, as we know. So it is hard to take a break. But technology has been a blessing and a curse. And it gives me the freedom to see the world while staying connected. And my iPad Pro has traveled the whole world with me. And I just ordered last night the new iPad Pro because I take it with me and I could do everything on that slim, great, fabulous machine. And I could be connected, write contracts, communicate with all of my clients, keep up on the transactions, and I could also have the luxury of traveling. Okay, so here are some of my favorite trips with the kids and Doug in the Caribbean. I went on a fabulous women's trip to Israel a couple of years ago. That was amazing. It will always hold a special place in my heart. And then there's the dogs with the kids. We went to San Diego. We're starting to look at universities for my son for next year. And here's Doug and I playing around in France. Paris is my favorite city. Love, love, love France. I cannot wait to go back. I have to close a lot of deals so I can, not feel guilty doing a great trip like that. Okay, so getting down to business, two big questions is, what makes a top producer? And why should a top producer join the KW family? Well, I think we all know. And I think that's really easy. We have so much support at Keller Williams, that's for sure. And experience. Experience does matter. I've been doing this 21 years now, and I've seen highs and lows couple of times now. And I know that the market fluctuates, and I've come across a lot of different obstacles in 21 years. And if anyone ever has any questions, they could always give me a call, knock on my door, whatever it takes. I've been around for 21 years now, and loving real estate. Absolutely. So my favorite part of the job, this is what makes me tick. I love negotiating. Negotiating puts me like on a high. I love getting the best price for my buyer, although in this market, kind of impossible to do. But at least I try to get my client the house in this market. And then for my sellers, of course, getting them the best price. I like getting them also rent backs for maybe $1 a month or some small amount. And negotiating is really big, or the request for repairs, whether I have, the seller or the buyer, there's a lot to that. That's for sure. And no local knowledge. And that does matter. And I tell newer agents to know the schools, whether they're the private schools, the public schools, know the good restaurants in the area, know the shopping centers. Sometimes I have clients that move in from out of town, and a year after we close escrow, they want a name of an orthodontist or a dentist, and know the good people, know the good professionals in your area. I'm a member of a couple of professional groups, networking groups, and that makes it easy for me because I trust them. I've known them for years, and I feel good about referring them. So also joining professional networking groups is also a really good idea. Okay, so I don't know a single successful agent in this industry that's not dedicated. You have to be dedicated, and you have to work weekends, and you have to want to work weekends. I came from the beauty industry where I worked every Saturday in a salon and maybe took off one Saturday a year. And I did a lot of weddings on Sundays, and I knew to be a successful 6-figure a year hairdresser, that's what it took, working weekends. So when I made the transition 21 years ago into real estate, I knew real estate was definitely the weekends. And if you're looking to take the weekends off, not the industry for you. You have to be dedicated, and you have to be motivated. And sometimes it's hard to be motivated when a transaction falls through, or a listing, not in this market, but sometimes you have a listing up on the market for a while. You have to keep motivated. You have to, be your own cheerleader. And we have the greatest team at KW to help you do that. I mean, Stephanie and Manny, they're the biggest cheerleaders. And I've called Manny sometimes like kind of down, and Stephanie, and they'll pump me right back up. And we all need that. So just stay motivated all the time, or try to. And pay attention to detail. And everything I do, I really try to pay attention to detail. And before I send a contract out, I'll read it, and I'll read it 3 times over. And sometimes I'll even get a separate pair of eyes on from my team, even if it's a brand new agent, because maybe they're looking at something that I think, after 21 years, I checked that box. Maybe I didn't check the box. So just always pay attention to detail and customer service. I'm a big one into customer service. I came from a service industry, the beauty industry, so it was easy for me to transition into real estate, and I'm there for my clients all the time. I even take phone calls way too early in the morning, sometimes 6:30 in the morning, and calls way too late at 11 o'clock at night. I'm sure my husband and my children really do not like that, but I am dedicated. And I always want to do the best for my client. And a lot of times they are having a lot of anxiety. It's usually their biggest purchase, their biggest investment in their life. And sometimes they're freaking out, and they just need to talk to you. That's all. And integrity. I'm a big one in integrity. Anyone on my team knows that. I've never given a kickback. I won't give a kickback. I won't take a, transaction or a listing, for the bottom dollar. I just won't. I'm all about integrity, and I won't do anything illegal. Okay, investing in yourself. I really think this is a big one, because for probably about 13, 14, 15 years now, I've been a mentor at different companies. And I try to tell the young agents, you have to invest in yourself. You need to spend money to make money. And even if it's not going on vacation or buying that hottest, pair of shoes or the hottest jeans you want, take the whatever money you were going to spend on that and buy high quality business cards. I have the ones that KW has such a great selection of cards to pick from. I have like that smooth coated card, and people get so impressed when I give them the card. They feel it, they touch it, they look at it. It's just little things like that. And maybe they were $50 more, but it made a difference. And I'm a big one on having pads and pens. I know it's old school, and I know the younger agents are like, oh boy, pads and pens. But it does make a difference because last weekend I had 3 different open houses at 3 different locations, and I had my pads of paper and I had my pens. And when we handed them a PED, we handed them in a pretty box a brand new pen. So they knew it was completely sanitary, and that pen they could keep. And that pen has, of course, my information on it. And hopefully it's floating in their purse or their car now. And it's just little things like that that I think are important. And also, 2 of the properties from last weekend, I'm so sorry my alarm was on. 2 of the properties we put in escrow. And one of them has a next door neighbor that's on the fence about selling his house. So Ani, who's on, my team member, she's on my team. She spoke to the gentleman on Sunday at that property. I was at another property, and then we went by his house. We knocked on the door. He wasn't home, but we left a gift bag, and then we left on a pad of paper with my pen. We wrote him a note that in 5 days we put the house into escrow for much, way above the asking price. And he called and texted Ani right away. And it mattered because I think we looked professional. We didn't just write a little note card or, a stick it or post it. We had a notepad with my name on it and my pen on it. And that to me makes a difference. It looks very professional. It looks like you've been in the business for a while. You've invested in yourself. And people want to work with people that do invest in themselves because they know you'll also invest in their property. And that comes to advertising. I like advertising properties. I like advertising my team. I like advertising myself. And that costs money, and it costs a lot of money. And my American Express bills are thousands of dollars a month, but it's important. I just really feel that you have to invest in yourself to make money. And sometimes if you don't have a lot of money to spend, go to the Dollar Tree and they have cards 2 for $1, and go spend $10 and get 20 cards and do a handwritten note. Handwritten notes go a long way. People love getting handwritten notes. So, or birthday cards, anniversary cards. So just try to invest in yourself as much as you can where you feel comfortable, and then maybe push it a little bit more. Okay, so for over the last 2 decades, I've been at different brokerages. And I was at Prudential John Arrow, I was at Rodeo and Pinnacle, and I was at those companies for almost 20 years. And I knew that there was one piece of the puzzle missing. And I just felt that I didn't have the support I needed to create a team and to get to the next level of my profession. And that's when Manny and I really started seriously talking. And he promised me, his team, his family at Keller Williams to help me get to the next level. And I joined right before the pandemic. So it was a little kind of a hard time to join. But I joined the end of February 2020, and Manny was right. He has an amazing team with amazing people to support all of us. And we have the concierge service. And I was up for a $3 million and $5 million listing. And I knew I had to be with a company that offered a concierge service. And we have that, and everybody should use it. I mean, that comes in very, very helpful for sellers. And our marketing, this is my biggest help in my business. I think Heather and Joey over in the marketing department rock. They're amazing. I can't say enough amazing things about them. They make my life as a top producer so much easier. And they're always an email or a call away. And the work they produce is beautiful. And my clients are always impressed when they get the postcards or they see any of my ads in the magazines. They're just top-notch professionals. And I want to thank all these people that are up on the screen now, because leadership absolutely matters. Stephanie and all these people are always one phone call away or one email away. And Stephanie and many are always there for all of us. And I have never been at a company that a broker is always an email or phone call away. I've been at companies where I didn't even know who the broker was. I didn't even know their name. And Rich is always there to answer any questions. And that's great, because during these pandemic times in the last year, as we know, the rules have changed back and forth and back and forth, and it's hard to keep up. And if you're ever confused, Rich always has the answer, and he's great. And again, he's always an email away. And I so appreciate that. So thank you, Rich, if you're on this, thank you so much. And we're a team. And I think everybody in the office is there to help each other. And I love when I'm in the office and we start talking about pocket listings and needs and wants. And I never go into the office without talking to an agent about a need or a want or a pocket listing. And that's fabulous. And everyone has each other's back, because there's enough real estate for all of us to make really good salaries, really good livings. And this is my team. And I think teamwork is great. And having a team allows me to hopefully travel more and be with my family more. And they could travel more. I have a team member that's gone this weekend for a family wedding. And I have a team member next Friday that's, taking off for a family wedding. And we all have lives. And we should have a good work-life balance. And I found that to be very hard when I didn't have a team. I always had an assistant, but now I have a team that I could really lean on, and they could definitely lean on me. So when they have a listing or a buyer, I'll show their buyer properties. I'll show their listings, because we're a team. It's all of our buyers. It's all of our listings, and it works out really well. And we can have more of a life, and we all want to have a good work, family, social life type balance. And let's face it, after being locked down for 16 months, it's the roaring 20s. We want to go out and party. We want to have some fun now, right? Okay. So what is up for this week? So last Friday I closed, I just want to give you some examples of things that I've been doing. So I closed this property last week. I had a buyer that was working with an agent for 3 months in Burbank and Glendale. She works for the studios. And that area, I thought the valley was hot on fire. Burbank, I've never seen a market like that in my life. It is crazy nuts. Every property has 20, 30 offers on it. And these are small homes that are most of them are all fixers. And so this was a house listed for $899. And, okay, sorry, let me back up. This client was not happy with her agent. So her brother, who I'm friends with, referred me. And I'm very good friends with the brother. I knew I had to, find his sister a house. She needed a house and she wanted a house. And so we put in a few offers. We didn't get it because she was 30% down, but she wasn't all cash. And we kept losing out to all cash. So we finally got into escrow for, it was an $899 house. And we got into escrow for $1.1 million. And listing agents right now could be big bullies. And they tell you, we don't want to see a request for repair, and we don't want to see this. We don't want to see this or that. Well, this house was a 1939 home, needs a new roof, has subterranean termites. It has foundation cracks, needs new AC, needs new electrical panel, needs, you name it, it needs everything. And I put in a request for repair, even though the listing agent bullied me and told me not to, and I did. And I got her $44,000, and they were all safety issues. And I turned in those reports, and I told her, I turned in the reports. You have to disclose this now. These are safety issues. And I think they got a little scared because they gave us the $44,000 reduction in price. So my client is thrilled and I'm so happy for her. So I'm very proud of that because in this market, you know, it's hard to even get 5 or 10,000. I got her $44,000. So that's my big like win for the week. And I put these two properties in escrow this week. We have 7293 Cyrus Way, and we were asking $1,149,000, and my client didn't even know if her house was worth $1,000,000. And I put it up for $1,149,000. A few agents laughed, a few people laughed, said I was out of my mind. It was way overpriced. It's 2,200 square feet in West Hills with no pool. And we ended up getting we've got a lot of offers, but we ended up getting two offers for $1,250. And the seller today said I could disclose the price. So we are in escrow for $1,250,000, and we have a backup for $1,250,000. So I'm very, very, very proud of that one. And that was negotiating. And again, you know, oh, and no appraisal contingency. So that was important with that one. And then we put Witsit here, and I got $1,000 over asking for the condo. Condos are a different, you know, beast right now in this market. It's not so hot and crazy to sell a condo. They're selling, but not like homes. So it's a little bit more of a challenge right now to sell a condo. And for this next week, I have a brand new construction. It's up as a coming soon, but we're staging it on Tuesday. I'm thrilled. And then it's going to go active, and that's in the Rancho Estates. It's in a beautiful, beautiful area of Encino, and that's 5.2 million. And then I have a unit off the Wilshire corridor that's 999. And the done units in the building now are going for about 1.5 to 1.6. So there's money to be made in this unit if someone wants to put in the work themselves. And I just wanted everybody to know, again, this is my team that I so appreciate and admire, and love these people. And if anybody is looking for a mentor, if anybody wants to join a team, or anyone just ever wants to meet me for coffee, pick my brain, go for lunch. I'm fully vaccinated now, so I feel safe to be in the world. Just let me know. And I'm happy to talk to each and every one of you, whoever has questions, or again, just to pick my brain. I'm here for all of you. And again, I'm Denise Marks, and I'm so excited to be part of the KW family now.
Denise, you are absolutely amazing, top-notch professional through and through. So I love your presentation. Thank you so much for taking the time to put that all together and just really be so eloquent. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I squeezed him too hard. So eloquent in your delivery, and like I said, you're just a top-notch professional, and I just have so much respect for you in everything that you do. Let me ask you, I know real quick, how do you keep, especially over, it's been challenging over these last 16 months with everybody, and how do you keep your mindset in check when we go through the ups and downs of, just our professional life and our personal life, and the different challenges that we have in getting to the next level?
Well, I just sometimes have to literally like just take a deep breath, and I get stressed out, like every one of you. I stress out. Sometimes I go for a walk. Luckily, the office is in a beautiful area. I work at the Calabasas office. I'll go for a walk. Sometimes the other day, I had a really stressful day, and I stopped what I did, and I've never done this before. I ran home, put on gym clothes, and went to the gym in the office for about an hour and a half, and I felt so much better. So we all have stress, and I guess getting out there, getting physical, and then sometimes it's all work, work, work. And I've said no to girlfriends. And next week, the next 2 weeks, I'm going to make plans 2 to 3 nights a week, like seeing friends that I haven't seen because everything has been so busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have a little bit of fun. But my son's going away to sleepaway camp on Monday for 5 weeks. My daughter leaves July 1st for 3 weeks. And Doug and I want to plan a trip somewhere. I don't care where. I just want to get out of Los Angeles for a few days. And I want to have some fun because, my family has some health issues and we really had to buckle down during the pandemic. And I had to be super strict and have nobody in my house and go nowhere. And now I can be free. I feel like a free bird. So now I want to just party like a rock star, but work, still work, but party too.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I loved your comparison, when you mentioned the roaring 20s. And I think you can feel it out there that people are like, woohoo, let's just go hard right now. And, but people are working hard and playing hard at the same time. That's so true. So let me ask, I know it's 8:26 already, but there's a lot of people on here listening to you and in different stages in their business, etc. So what words of advice do you have for the audience, for the agents, in either, getting their business off the ground or just taking their business to the next level?
I would say now that the world's opening up, it's very hard. I don't know how any new agent ever could get any business during the pandemic because it was really tough. Unless you were friends with the person or they were a family member, it was really hard. But now the world's opening up. Have your business cards with you all the time. When I was a new hairdresser, my mentor taught me, and I do it with real estate to this day. Try to give a business card a day out to somebody that you don't know. And, I start talking about real estate or, I know somebody that actually goes into Starbucks and always just pretends he's on the phone with a client to talk about real estate in Westlake. So then he could give out a card to somebody because then everyone always has a real estate question. But I would get out there. I would be social. I would, now that the gyms are opening, start talking to people, start talking about how interest rates are still great. And yes, okay, so it's the seller's market, but interest rates are still great. And the bottom line is most people buy a home for the mortgage payment, not always so much for what the house costs, but what it's going to cost them every month. So I always encourage people that if they still really, truly want to buy a house, don't be discouraged. And just get out there and be social and give out your business cards and have some swag stuff, the pens, the pads, stuff like that. I know that the younger agents think it's corny, but it's really not because it really does work because then right now, my listing that I put in escrow on Witsit, I met her at an open house in her building 8 years ago. Actually, 9 years ago in 2012. She kept my card in her kitchen drawer. She told Ani and I that on the listing appointment. She said, I always kept your card. If I didn't have a card on me that day, she wouldn't have called me all these years later to list her house. So,
yeah, you know what? And I know it may sound corny, but it is so true. We have one of our agents, Christine Wheeler, just took a listing and they moved the mom to a senior facility. But in the house, so she's helping get the house, but in the house is her notepad. She took a picture of the notepad with they had notes on it, the whole bit. So people, she sent the picture to me and I just started laughing, but it's there because you have to have your people see your name all the time. And what's the best way to do it is with the pen or with the notepad or a magnet that they throw up with the calendar, it's, but I love it. And you always have, like I said, with your swag and everything, and it's always so classy and you just give it out. And I truly agree with what you say about investing that time or investing that money in that type of stuff. So awesome. I'm just seeing if there's any questions. Does anybody have any questions for Denise before we let her go put some more into escrow? I don't see anything. All right. Denise, you were so thorough and so well prepared, and just I appreciate you immensely and wish you let me see. There is one question. Edric was wondering, why are homes selling faster than condos?
I think because a lot of reasons, because during the pandemic, a lot of people are working from the home and they need more space. They need that extra bedroom. A lot of people, they want maybe a garage so they can, a lot of people bought bikes. A lot of people bought Pelotons, you know, ellipticals. They want the garage. I think that also people got used to hanging out in backyards, and people realize, like I myself right now, I'm redoing my backyard because I realized, you know, it's kind of nice to just sometimes stay home and have a glass of wine and hang out at home, where I never really did that before. So I think that people want the space. And I think that the silver lining of the pandemic was, you know, hey, it's kind of nice to sometimes just stay home. And I think people want nicer places.
Yeah.
And the time.
Yeah.
And I so appreciate you and Manny inviting me today to speak. I loved it. So thank you so much. It really meant a lot to me.
Of course. Thank you. Hey, Denise, before we hang up, or I guess leave the meeting, can you put your email in the chat?
Sure. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So this has been wonderful. Thank you, Denise.
You are
there you
so
go.
welcome.
Oh, so Manny put it in for you.
Oh,
Denise.
awesome. Thank you, Manny. Because I didn't have my glasses on, so I was like, okay, how can I? Okay, so thank you.
There's Manny. Do you have anything to say, Manny?
Yeah, but I don't want to take the next 30 minutes to say how great Denise is. But just to sum it up, two things. First of all, see how well prepared she showed up to the meeting. Nobody told her, hey, what do you need to do? She came, did the whole presentation. She probably schlepped Doug, her husband, to do the whole thing as well. Right? He was the background, running around, making sure to think. So just here's what I'm looking at. And so whoever can take 2 more minutes, that's fine. Doug, you're awesome. So look how she's an operator. She's a high I, right, on the disc profile. So she has to engage. And I don't know if you read between the lines of all of her, you know, well-prepared presentation. It's not just about that. Is connect, network, convert. Always find the opportunity, always look at the bright side, no matter what kind of difficulty you're going to run into, you have. And yes, maybe today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow is going to be challenging, but guess what? There was always next week or next month or next year. And Denise is also, she's a fighter, she's a survivor. She told you only pieces of a story, life story. So Denise, what also makes you so great is your tenacity and grit and persistency to love on life, love on people, and you're also big on making sure to have really the best of the very best around you. If it's your family, if it's people that are working with you, servicing you, and Denise can also get very intense and very demanding when she wants something, which I think it's admirable. And that's a trait of a successful CEO of a company, which she is, because she doesn't compromise on the level of service that she wants to provide. So we appreciate you and we love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome. Thank you, Denise. And thank you everyone for joining us today to hear her beautiful story and words of advice. All right, make it a great day. Happy Friday, everyone. And thank you again, Denise. Woo! Go knock it out of the park, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.